Ghana Talks Radio. Get it big, get it here. Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR. Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
Ecstatic made it.
Yeah, nobody feeling the way I'm feeling tonight. Yeah, and I have the hope that things will be alright. Yeah, so we're feeling irate as we hustle all day long. We are hoping, say that one day things go better. Jale, oh, jale, here we go again. When the things go harder, stronger than Umaga. Brother, know the quiver, we go smack up like Undertaker. When the things go harder, we go stronger than Umaga. Yeah, oh, we go smack up Undertaker. Jale, oh, jale, here we go again.
Welcome to another edition of the Cubicle Like right here on Ghana Talks Radio. It's 34 minutes past 2 p.m. and it's time for the Cubicle. My name is Lancer Haruna and I will be your host for the next 1 hour.
I believe in my hustle, but man, they pray to Baba.
As you know, here's a platform for us to discuss the issues that affect young people and their contribution to the development of the country. Also, on this particular show, we discuss the important or the pertinent issues that's affecting the country as a whole, and also give a platform for young people to discuss these issues within their own or from their own perspective. We come away from Monday to Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. live here on Ghana Talks Radio, and with me, Lancer Haruna.
Things go better.
We are live at Ghana Talks Radio on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also watch us with our app, the GTR app. You can easily download the app on all app stores to get connected with us from wherever you are. I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to this particular stream, this particular feed, and this particular edition of the Cubicle. Today we have a very interesting issue to discuss. This has been the news for almost a week now. The Professor Frimpong Boateng's Galamsey report. The culprits who have been firing back, and the shots he has also been giving back at the culprits that he tags in the report. We're looking at those particular issues in the wider context of illegal mining in Ghana. Why do we have a problem with illegal mining in Ghana? And why are there confusions about the type of licenses that are available for companies and individuals to procure or to get at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources? So you can stay with me. This is the Cubicle. I'll take a short break. When I come back, then we continue our discussion live here. Like I said, we're looking at Professor Frimpong Boateng's Galamsey report and the corporates, their feedback or their reaction and the counter reaction from Professor Frimpong Boateng, all in the context of illegal mining in Ghana. Stick and stay right back after the short break.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrichimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana nearby be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the amount. Your live band in so our tones at the frame ya beat me ababeboa ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawo enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel ahope pepe ena yebutu odi an se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza.
What's up, people? I go by the name Kojo Oppong. Now with the level band. Now listen, time it's Kojo Oppong every Friday on Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Somewhere I'm with the dial bit. I got another segment for you guys. Now listen, it's all about the up and coming round table. You be rapper, you dey sing, or you feel say you get talent, you get songs. No, listen, send your song and picture via roundtable at GhanaTalksRadio.com or just WhatsApp us on 020-254-4614. Up and coming artist round table. Now listen, every week beyond we go select 10 best artists. Our judges good day studio. Best one. But we never forget the fans and on all social media and on our street and so on. Then go vote. Nobody can know. We go invite them for studio and we get surprises for the artists what you see. So last Friday of every month we go invite the first week, second week, third week in your D can know. Near do my bus studio and we get so many prizes for the soldiers. So up and coming round table. If you be artist, Charlie, just put song there, you go blow them. One in your corner, be a mammy at that. Wabbing, Jajai.
Yeah.
Ecstatic made it.
Yeah. Nobody feeling that way I'm feeling tonight. Yeah. And I have the hope that things will be alright. Yeah. So we feel it.
Welcome back right here to the cubicle. Like I said, today is all about the Galamsey report that was submitted by Professor Frimpong Boateng, former Minister for Environment and Science, right? And the issues have been have been coming on top of each other like like snowflakes. But what has happened actually is that this report was his report as the leader or as the head ministry for the interministerial committee for the fight against illegal mining. That was instituted by President Nana Akufo-Addo. Now, just on the face of it, I think that we have to applaud the president for that particular initiative, just based on the fact that he actually instituted something, a body that was looked directly or mainly into illegal mining. I think that is a plus, and that we need to applaud him for that. That is separate from the issue that's currently coming up, and also separate from the reality on the ground as to how effective that particular fight was, and what were the challenges or what were the limitations of that fight, and what the presidency contributed in line with those or contributed to those challenges. So that's different from him instituting it. But his institution itself, as a president, as a leader of the country, was very right. This was actually a collaborative project by a number of ministries, which the currently acted professor was leader of or was head of. So this report, according to what happened, was submitted 2 years ago to the presidency, to the chief of staff, per procedure, per process. So for them to review, and the any actions that they deem fit, then they'll take those actions on that report. 2 years after, it was until this leakage that people in Ghana got to know what were in the what that particular report contained. And my oh my, that particular report contains a lot and a lot and a lot. To the issue of the presidency waiting 2 years or not even acting on it for more than 2 years until this particular leakage. A lot of people have criticized the presidency for that. because they were saying that if the presidency were abreast with the kind of information in the or the kind of content in the report, what stopped the presidency from acting? So, like I said, these are steps by steps, and at each stage, whoever is supposed to take blame will take the blame peacefully. So the presidency was attacked, was criticized for not acting on the content of the report. But it's all subjective, because for maybe for the ordinary Ghanaian or for the observer who says and say, okay, cool. For me, I think that the report is credible, and I think that what the minister was saying or the former minister is saying is not the right on the ground, or is the right on the ground. As an individual, you will not hesitate to act on it. But just like the presidency indicated that for them, they feel like this particular report is just a compilation of the personal grievances of the former minister, Professor Frimpong Boateng. So that basically gives you an idea of why there was no action on the report for almost those 2 years. That the presidency did not see it fit for purpose, did not see it as though it was credible enough to be acted upon. We'll come to the possible reasons why the presidency refused to act on it, even though, like I said, they've already said that as for them, when it comes to the report, they feel like it's just a compilation, it's just a report of personal grievances that the former minister held. Mind you, the former minister was actually fired from his job by the president. So let's tell you what happened within those times. So first, we are applauding the president for instituting that particular committee. Second, we're actually asking the question, why did the presidency not act on the report? Because they had possession of that particular report for more than 2 years until the ordinary Ghanaian got to know even what was inside, what was contained in the report. Why didn't they act? But they told us why they didn't, and they felt that particular report was was a report bloated by personal grievances. Charlie, I was saying that if you cannot attack the credibility of the content of the report, then you attack the personality or the person behind the report. That's just normal tactics, right? If you say the truth, then asking why are you speaking the truth? Who are you to speak the truth? Like you've also lied before, so who are you to speak the truth? That's then basically the truth that you are speaking at this particular time is becoming useless, becoming irrelevant or unworthy of any action. So that's what they are doing. So they attack the messenger instead of the contents of the report. But yes, that's what the presidency is stuck with. Another interesting issue about this report is that the corporates that it names are very close to the presidency. In fact, in the report itself, the former minister indicated that the presidency, the Galamseyers in this country, those who have the big money, are actually at the doorstep of the presidency, are actually in the office of the presidency, are actually big wigs in the MPP. So apart from it being out of the public or hidden from action or not being acted upon for more than 2 years, one of the reasons was that it actually mentioned big names who were connected deeply to this particular government or the MPP government or this administration. Now, it's important to put in context the commitment of the president to fight against illegal mining in Ghana. As we all know, President Akufo-Addo in 2017 actually made a statement that he was willing to put his presidency on the line. Now, I have a problem with Ghanaians when it comes to a lot of speeches that our leaders make. We actually take leaders just on their words easily. Like, it's very, very easy. Very easy. Like, we don't actually question, we don't peruse, we don't actually review. Like, there's no assessment made on anybody's speech in this country. I was saying that the media in Ghana is just good at reporting instead of being we are good at reporting instead of actually being journalists, or actually doing pure journalistic work in trying to fetch and find out. So just right now, if someone says, for example, the moment of truth series by the NDC is ongoing, when any headline comes from it, almost every media has to pick that same headline and drag it to this various value, right? But no one will be bothered about going behind those headlines to bring out the real nitty-gritties, and that is where the details are. That's where the devils are. The devils are in the details, right? But like I said, when the president said that, and that was not the first time. There are a lot of comments have been made. I'll build 88 hospitals in 1 year. Like, no one actually questioned the possibility of that. To date, we are still hanging on to that. I'll fight. What did he say about the Galamsey? We need to put my presidency on the line. We got hooked on that particular statement. To date, Galamsey is still thriving in Ghana. The $1 million per constituency, to date, we are still hanging on it. 1D, 1A, we are still hanging on those kind of terminology. So the Ghanaian people are very, very easily enticed by jargons and slogans. And I think that's what the leaders have gone known as for. And that's why they are not acting as they are supposed to act. So yes, this is in the context of the president saying that he wants to put his presidency on the line. And what the report revealed is that people closer to the presidency are much more steeped in the illegal mining, also known as Galamsey in Ghana. Now that's one of the reasons why the presidency did not act on it. First, he thought that particular report did not have any merit. Also, because they feel like it was just a compilation, it just made up of personal grievances of the former minister, Professor Frimpong Boateng, and also the presidency thinks that maybe possibly that the names that were mentioned in that particular report were not names that they could act against. So possibly we just put it out of the public and no one gets to know about it. But now Ghanaians know, and what Ghanaians are saying is that, bro, we are getting to understand how close Galamsey is to the big players in the country. But it's not new news. This is not new development in Ghana. We all know that in Ghana, who can afford excavators? No poor man can afford an excavator. The middle class cannot afford the excavators. It's only the high class, the first class people, the higher echelons, the elites who can afford excavators. And even the middle class cannot collaborate with foreign nationals to come and mine in Ghana illegally. It's only the big men who have the connections to come to bring them in and to be able to protect them to mine. So the fact that we are getting to know the number of names or the names attached to this Galamsey in this report is not news, and it's not surprising to Ghanaians. At least if it's surprising to you, it's not surprising to a lot of other people that we know that in Ghana, the only people who are capable of financing an illegal mining are the elite and the power holders, the power brokers, who are the politicians in the country. So that's one aspect of the report. Another aspect of the report is basically that this thing is the NDC and APP thing. Like the NDC in this time, President John Mahama's time, they were fighting. They were sharing concessions like biscuits. Like if you are closer to the party, then you get a concession in some particular part of the region of the country. The report was actually mentioning Western region, where the Western region was divided into what you call a concession. World Bank, and officials associated with the government at the time were benefiting from those deals or from those concessions. Now the issue is that when NDC people are chastising the recent corporates in this particular expose, they are silent about the part of the report that one names NDC members as part of the cabal in illegal money in Ghana. But that's just part of the politics, bro. So apart from the NDC, the main program, the main issue of contention, the main headline makers from this particular report has been the names mentioned in the report, as close as the Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and also cousin of the president, Gabby Otchere. Now, what's the beef between Professor Frimpong Boateng and then the Minister of Information and Professor Frimpong Boateng and then Gabby Otchere? When it comes to Gabby, according to what the professor said in this report, he was basically saying that, bro, we went to a site who only had a prospecting license, but they were deeply involved in deep mining, illegal mining. So we decided to seize their equipment and then ransack the place, only for me to be called by Otchere, posing as a lawyer for that particular organization, that particular company, that particular mining firm. Now, according to the former minister, he's saying that the fact that it was no other person than Gabby was what took him off the rails, because he didn't understand why someone as close to the president would in any way support or be defending Galamseyers in their country. That was in his report, right? Now, after the report was leaked, Gabby responded, and what he said basically was that, bro, I'm a lawyer. I called you as a lawyer for my client, Heritage something mining firm. And as far as I knew as a lawyer, my client has the license and the permits required by the law to go into mining. And the contention was that the minister said they had prospecting licenses, and as a prospecting license, you do not have the right to mine. Your only right under with a prospecting license is to go to the field, use your technology, and check the land, see whether there's mineral resources in the land. Because use some detectors to see how the land is. You can build some temporary stuff there just for you to be closer to the place and then do your work properly. That's just prospecting. Let's see whether there's gold here. That's what prospecting is all about. You're not allowed to dig and excavate and bring excavators and drill and then bump and then blast and then be fetching gold and be processing for gold. You're not supposed to do that with the prospecting license. So according to the minister, yes, your people may have licenses, but they have prospecting licenses, and with the prospecting licenses, they are not allowed to work. They are not allowed to mine. Now, but Gabby is saying, no, my guys have permits. The EPA gave them permits. In Ghana, if you want to mine, you have to get permits from the Forestry Commission, Environmental Protection. They all have to give you permits in addition to your license, and then they will not give you a mining permit, right? After you get your license to mine. So what happens is that he feels that they have permission. Once they have their permits, they are at liberty to go onto the field per their law or per their qualification or per their license that they have and per the permits that they have. Now the issue is that for him as an individual or as a lawyer, he did not see a problem with that. But as many people are reacting, Charlie, there's no way you should pop up your head in the context of defending someone. The president has your uncle has actually instituted to make an arrest or work against. If you for me, I feel like basically when it comes to a license issue, if you have a prospecting license, you're not supposed to mine. So basically, on the face of that one crowd, I think the mining company was wrong, and the permits, whether they have the permits or not, I think the minister at any time can revoke their license when they feel like they are not mining according to what they are supposed to do. So even though they are even mining where they have a license, and then they are mining contrary to the permit of the license, then it can be their license can be revoked. So there's no issue about stopping people who's mining who has a mining license. That's not an issue in the courts of Ghana, in the laws of Ghana. So that was where that's how the beef between Gabby and then Professor Frimpong panned out. I think both in relation to each other have held their shots and no one is saying anything for now. But like I'm saying, it's all about the impression given that people close to the president were actually defending people who were doing Galamsey in Ghana. Another person another high-profile personality who was named as a culprit or as someone who was not supposed to interfere or someone who was not supposed to be doing what he's doing per the report is the Honorable Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. And basically what they're saying is that they are working in tandem with I think protecting sites, right? They actually made a lot of accusations. Like, bro, even mentioned, I think at the point they mentioned the vice president's name. There was a town where I didn't even read that part, but I'm not sure. But it has been thrown around social media. I don't know why it's NDC agenda or actually true. But accusations were labeled against them, and then the minister actually labeled the report as frivolous and then something that not well made. And that was one thing that Professor Frimpong responded to, was saying, bro, when I was coming to Ghana, you are as young as my firstborn, and this and that. Charlie, this Galamsey thing, I think that in the larger context, what we're just seeing is that we are seeing power play behind the scenes actually pop up onto the scene, and the Ghanaians should always be aware that at no point do lots of politicians have the interests of the country at heart. It cannot happen, because if you look at the content of the report, what it shows is that even if there are any progress in any fight against Galamsey, that fight is most likely going to be a fight against the opposition or the opponents who are engaging in Galamsey, and not yourself. And that's very dangerous for the country, because it looks like when we have power, we can do our Galamsey. Your people cannot do Galamsey. And if you don't have power, we cannot do Galamsey. Your people can do Galamsey. So at any point in time where the government or any state institution is saying that we want to fight Galamsey, the target is the Galamseyers of the opposition party. And that is the same phenomenon that translates in every sector of our country. Like when it comes to the giving of award of road contracts, if you're not part of the government, when it comes to get to a point, you don't get any contract. That's one. Another thing is that when it comes to employment, if you're not closer to the government, you don't get employment. Even though there's people are employing people based on party colors, the military, the police, the security services, a whole lot. So that's something very common in our country. And that even stretches into Galamsey itself. So that's the beef between Professor Frimpong Boateng and then Gabby Otchere. Now I'll take a break. When I come back, look at the context of illegal, what illegal money actually does to the country, and why we should at least be more serious about fighting the kanga in the country. Still can still cry back after the short break.
What's up, people? I go by the name Coin Takra. Now what's the level? Bang, now listen, time it's Coin Takra every Friday on Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Somewhere I'm winning with the dial bet. I got another segment for you guys. Now listen, it's all about the up and coming round table. You be rapper, you the sing, or you feel say you get talent, you get songs. No, listen, send your song and picture via round table at GhanaTalksRadio.com or just WhatsApp us on 020-254-4614. Up and coming artist round table. Now listen, every week beyond we go select 10 best artists. Our judges good day studio. Best one. But we never forget the fans and on all social media and on our street and so on. Then go vote. Nobody can know. We go invite them for studio and we get surprises for the artists what you see. So last Friday of every month we go invite the first week, second week, third week in your D Kangno. Near the Wama Bus Studio, and we get so many prizes for the soldiers. So up and coming round table. If you be artist, Charlie, just put a song there. You go blow them. One in your corner. Obiama Miata. Wadding. Jajai.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
So welcome right back here onto the Cubicle Live on Ghana Talks Radio with me, Lance Haruna. We are actually discussing the Professor Frimpong Boateng's Galamsey report, the Culprits named, and then the NDC in the context of the whole illegal mining saga Galamsey in Ghana. What we've been discussing so far is the role of the presidency in this particular report or this particular build-up or the making of the report, where the president actually instituted the committee. Also, where the president actually held on to the report without acting on it for 2 years, and then the reactions of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and Gabby Otchere as persons named in the report, among others, and then the NDC parachikis that were also named in the report as having been engaged in heavy Galamsey within the time of the term of President John Dramani Mahama. But that just tells you that's where it is taking us to, where we are now discussing the context of Ghana. This just tells you that the whole NPP NDC thing about protecting the country and then helping to the country is just more or less of an agenda that has not been built upon a framework that has been nationalized. So each party does what they feel is the right thing, and most of the time what they feel is the right thing is something that doesn't work, that works against the opposition party, and then that works for the good of the party in terms of creating wealth for themselves. So what happens is that ministers, appointees take the opportunity of power, use the power to enrich themselves, and one way they do that, especially in this Galamsey thing, is to give themselves concessions, give themselves the mining leases and the licenses to go there, and then go to the hinterlands, the water bodies, export them, all in the name of what? Creating wealth for themselves, because we have power. So as Ghanaians, I think that it's most important that we have to understand that we have a role to play in calling our leaders to account. We have to be open about systems. For example, this particular report should not be hidden from the people of Ghana for 2 years. This particular report should have been acted on by people. And let me tell you something. One thing known in Ghana is that we will all comment on this particular report, but at the end of the day, there's not going to be any actionable result from the report or from any development from the report. And just as the president says, for them, they feel like it's a compilation of, or it's a compilation of personal grievances. So that's just a basic. They're not going to act on it. So which state institution will act on it? If the presidency discredits the report, which institution will go ahead to act on it? None. So that means that this report is just as useless as it didn't come out, right? Like it doesn't. That should not be the system we operate as a country. That's not the system that we should operate as a country. We have to understand that whatever thing we are doing, we must be able to build institutions that are very transparent and that carry the people along, such that the people have a core contribution to seeing to the realization of national policies that are in the interest of the nation. The report actually opens a lot of people's eyes when it comes to Galamsey in Ghana. We are now understanding that both parties are involved and the big players are all involved. Those that we could not name, we can now name them. But now the thing is that what happens after the report? There's not going to be any action after the report. That's very, very unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate because what happens is that illegal mining continues to grow. What also happens is that our water resources continue to be polluted. What happens is that our health is put more and more in danger. And how do the country go when we continue to poison ourselves? And also, especially, we allow the foreigners to come in and do whatever they want in the country. For the sake of what? For the sake of commissions from what? Mineral resources. And that's very poor. If you look at the potential of revenue from this mineral resource sector, you will be shocked at what we are getting as a country, just because we are not doing it, putting in the right institution. We are not demanding what we are supposed to demand as a country. There's also supposed to lead those demands, those at the helm of affairs, but they don't also know, and they're also much involved in what? The exploitation and then stealing. Serious, all in the name of you have power. And that's very, very pathetic as a country, and this has been the case of the country since independence. Since independence, our gold issue since we got independence, where illegal mining was banned before independence by the colonizers, small scale mining was banned until it was legalized in the PNDC era 1983, or when was that? All that time to now, we still have issues with illegal mining in Ghana. And it's because those who are in front of it, those who have the authority to act, are those who are actually engage in the stealing and then the exploitation of the mineral resources to the disadvantage of all Ghanaians. It's not fair, and we have to demand once a country. This is where I'll put my discussion to an end on the cubicle. My name has been Lancer Lawrence. I've been live on Ghana Talks Radio. Stick and stay with us and enjoy the rest of our program tonight at 7 p.m. we have time to go on Takra, and also until then we have DJ Cham rocking the wheels with some quality music. Stick and stay and enjoy the rest of our program. Bye bye.
Yeah, nobody feeling that way I'm feeling tonight. Yeah, and I have the hope that things will be alright. Yeah.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Ghana Talks Radio in a mix. The
best music in the world. The best music. My favorite station.
Ghana Talks Radio. GhanaTalksRadio.com. Listen live.